Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Henk van Laar. Most of you know me. I've got a long history in inland shipping, and I was asked by the organization to moderate this meeting. And when I woke up this morning, I was reading an article yesterday in the paper, in the BBC. There was Bill Gates, and he was talking about AI, ChatGPT and BART, and he called it the next big thing. And I was wondering, in this day and age where we still use paper, where we have artificial intelligence which can give the most wonderful answers to the most complicated questions, we are still in this day and age working with paper, and I hope we will be able to talk about this today. A special welcome also to a large audience which is online. The organization, fitting to the theme of digitalization, is catering for everybody. Although I think nothing beats it to be physically here, to see each other in the eye, but I think we had something of over 100 people who are participating in the online version via Teams. There is a split screen. People can see the presenters, people can see the presentations, and they can also chat with Thierry, who we have on my right-hand side, and who will ask questions if they come into the chat. So we have direct participation also of the people who could not be here today. So I think that's a great thing. Digitalization, are we doing it together? Are we doing it on our own? I think that's the big theme. And the question is then, who is who? Is it nations? Is it individual member states? Is it companies? Is it suppliers? Is it the barge owner in the wheelhouse? And we'll see at the end of the day if we'll do it together or if we keep doing it on our own. Blessing or a curse, digitization, which is also an interesting question at the start of this event. I mean, if you see the wonderful capabilities today which is a sad event, the war in Ukraine, everything is transparent. You cannot hide whatever you do, so that's a good thing. On the other hand, in inland shipping, sometimes this transparency leads to all kinds of questions. So sometimes it's a blessing and sometimes it's less. And today, I think the program really gives you a very good opportunity to see what's going on the side of the government, on the side of the businesses. And I personally think, and I hope we will find the answer at the end of the day, that we are at a crossroads. I mean, there's so much new technology which has come around over the last 4 or 5 years, which enables us so many new projects, directives from the EU, and maybe as of this DIWA event, we can really turn corners and speed up digitization in the industry, in the fairways and the waterways we're talking about. There is a program today, you've all seen it. It's divided into 3 parts. The first part we talk about digital transformation. The second part we will more closely look at smart and autonomous shipping. And then finally we look at connectivity and data sharing, which really requires working together. So I think that's a good thing. Household messages. Nick Delmera asked me to ask you, when you leave, please leave your badge at the reception. Don't forget about it, because they might think you would be still in the building. And then a whole search and rescue operation will be started, which you don't want. Furthermore, you're not allowed to eat in this room, and neither are you allowed to bring coffee. So those are, I think, the only 3 household remarks I have to make before I can go over to the program and introduce to you a lady who has recently joined Rijkswaterstaat, coming from a long career also at the municipality of Amsterdam, but before that was working in the cultural industry, and has a lot of what I took from our introduction in the preparation towards this event, a lot of cultural sensitivity. And I think even in Europe we're working together brilliantly, but there are cultural differences. I was talking to several people this morning, and I think with Iris Reuzelaars, head of Scheepvaart in the Netherlands and also chairman of the DIWA project, we have the excellent person to kick off this meeting. Iris, can I give you the floor? Ladies and gentlemen, Iris Reuselaar.
Okay, good morning to you all. I'm very honored to have the opportunity to welcome you all today for this DIWA workshop. You are here with over 170 participants. You won't see them today because part of them is online and part of you is live here. And the participants are from more than 25 countries. So with all of you here, it promises to be a very interesting and special day. Of course, I would like to express my special thanks to the Belgian Ministry for hosting this meeting and the support of the IWT platform. My name is Iris Reuselaars. About half a year ago, I started as a director of inland shipping and water management at Rijkswaterstaat. Rijkswaterstaat is the Fairway Authority in the Netherlands, and it is our task to support smooth and safe navigation. And I am also the Dutch beneficiary of the Masterplan DIWA and the chair of the steering committee. As director of and Fairway Authority, we have to cope with challenging topics like climate adaptation. On the waterways, the water levels are sometimes too low, and maybe this summer again, or even too high. Another challenge is having enough skilled staff to operate bridges, locks, and vessel traffic management services, and to make sure our infrastructure, like waterways, locks, and bridges, is in good shape and resilient for the future. These topics are mostly non-digitalization challenges. However, today we're going to talk about digitalization. Digitalization is transforming our economy and society in a rapid pace. This is a worldwide development in which digital technologies are used in more and more places, from electronic reporting of journeys to another app on your smartphone. This offers opportunities and challenges in IWT. Because I am new in the field of inland shipping, I also hope to learn a lot today regarding the digitalization of the IWT sector within the EU. Already I have seen the result of a successful cooperation on digitalization within the EU, the COMEX project, which has resulted in a harmonized European Fairway information portal called EURIS. Recently, I was allowed to sail on an inland vessel that transported coal from Rotterdam to Germany. And what struck me is the large number of paper documents, that must be present on board. And I was told that for each country that was passed, slightly different documents must be shown. So for each country, a map of this height must be shown, or must be on board to sail. Okay, although I don't think we can solve these issues today, I do think we have a common challenge to digitalize documents and processes so the inland waterway transport will be more efficient, reliable, and attractive. Within the DIWA project, I noticed that over the past 2 years, a lot of work has been done to map out the current situation regarding digitalization of IW2 in the EU. I'm sorry, a lot of tongue breakers here. We see the result of the project Masterplan Digitalization Inland Waterways as a building block for the digitalization of inland waterways by the Fairway authorities, and it has the objective to lead to a digitalized and safe inland waterway network, support smart shipping developments and seamless integration into the multimodal transport chain. The first results are ready, and we would like to share them with you today. I wish everyone a very instructive day where there will be enough time to discuss and get to know each other and their role in IWT. Enjoy.
So you recently stepped on board of a vessel. What impressed you the most when you came on board, having never been on an inland barge?
What impressed me the most that you step into another kind of world. It's totally another world than on land. So you have to fare the waterway, and that's the world of the vessel.
And it was a wide waterway because you went on the Amsterdam Rijnkanal,
yes.
I think you did.
Yes. So, and it was a large vessel with coal open, so you could see the coal.
Right.
And the owner, the skipper, I think, was very proud of his vessel and proud of his company. So that struck me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very good. So, and that's probably the character of the industry. They like what they do.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Edith. And we'll see you during the day and also at the end of the meeting. And I hope we have a successful meeting.
Okay.
Again, Edith Reuselaar. And then the next guest of honor is Markus Erdmann. Markus, where are you? Over there. He is director at the German ministry. He's got a long-standing career in the legal industry. And we had a very interesting conversation prior to starting this event on also the cultural differences between Germans and Dutch people. Although we are neighbors, we know each other quite well. And you are also in the board of the DIWA project.
That's right, yes.
Yeah. Markus, please.
Thank you very much. Yes, a warm welcome to all of you also from my side. My name is Markus Erdmann. As Henk van Laar said, I'm Director Shipping in the German Waterways and Shipping Agency. And yes, digitalization of inland waterway transport is our topic today. And what is so important about it? Well, waterway transport is a business-to-business affair. It's from professionals for professionals. So the expectations in quality and reliability are high. Waterway transport means, in many cases, to be part of a transport chain, because inland shipping mostly cannot give a door-to-door delivery. But if someone is part of a chain, he should look after that he is not the weakest link of it to provide tearing up and getting out of use. Or to use another picture, inland waterway transport is more like singing in a choir of modes than singing as a soloist. And so it's crucial to sing the right rhythm for anyone who wants to be invited to concerts as often as possible. We should remember, to be a factor in a transport chain means at the same time to be a factor in the value chain of the transport client too. That's why inland waterway transport has to keep up in its digital performance with the other transport modes. This is at least my German point of view, as we have got a current national modal split rate for inland shipping of about 6 to 7%, but would like to increase and preferably double this. The importance of digitalization, especially in transport affairs, is well recognized by German politics. The digitalization theme and the transport theme are nowadays combined in one ministry. Our so-called National Inland Waterway Transport Master Plan stresses out the further needs for digitalization clearly, right beneath the other needs for a competitive inland waterway transport system, like there are a good performing infrastructure, especially fairways, locks and weirs, a modern and sustainable fleet, strengthening multimodality, and solving the problems concerning demographic change and the shortage of skilled professionals. These together are the big 5 topics of our national master plan, and digitalization is interwoven with each of these themes, so I would like to call it primus inter pares in these 5. So that's why digitalization is that important. And that's why we need a solid and internationally accepted vision and roadmap for digitalization of the inland waterway transport. In short, that's why we need our project DIWA. So I'm looking forward to an interesting and fruitful day now. Thank you very much for your attention, and please excuse my English.
We spoke about this 6% previously, and then I mentioned to you that on the Rhine, if you look at cross-border transport, it's 50% modal split. Maybe that's a good thing to stress together when we present the industry.
That's right. That's right. It's how you look on statistics. You have different points of view, and perhaps we should stress out the more common lines, the more deliverable water lines. But it's really our aim to double the current modal split in the next years.
And it's certainly good for German industry.
Yes.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Erdmann. A choir of modes he was talking about. And the primus inter pares. I was recently referring to digitalization in inland shipping that we should play in the Champions League. So that's probably a good aim. Before we go on with the program, we've also included something interactive. And we are switching now to what we usually call Mentimeter, but this application is called WooClap. And you are asked to enter the code, and then we ask you a couple of questions. Not a lot, only 2, I think. So if you take your phone out, and I'm doing it myself to see if it, it opens. You have to accept. And then it takes a while, and you will find, as soon as we're in, because I don't have to enter the code, because I did the, And then you will get a question later on to covering your background. We are very curious to see, and this is also able, people at online are also able to do this. Exactly. And then as soon as the question arrives, we want to know who you are in terms of your background. It's all black, it says here. It comes. I'll get a sign from over there. Yeah, there it is. And this is the question about your energy level. It's still early days. Are we repeating this question during the day? No. Oh, are we? Well, I need to perform then, to keep you up and running. But so far, I guess the people in yellow were the ones who had to come by train and wake up at 6 this morning. But there are some, I spoke to some. Can we also see the difference between online and people here? No, that we cannot. I guess the energy level is still reasonably okay. We'll have to set you up for the next coffee break, but that will take a while. I think we could go to the next question. So, to which stakeholder group do you belong? So we've got the economic operators, service providers, the fairway authorities, other governmental bodies, or other. And very often the other category is very big because all the consultants are there, like myself. And I think we have a fair mix, of course, with many people from the Fairway Authority, but they are also the people who ran and run the DIWA program, so that's not surprising. But fortunately, we also have people from the industry. And yeah, is there somebody in the room who is other? I see. You are from a knowledge institution, and you are from, if I may ask?
Alice.
Which is?
The Alliance for Logistics Innovation through Collaboration in Europe. We are an association and we are gathering logistics stakeholders among EU. That's it.
Okay, so that's another project, statistics. So we've got a pretty clear picture of who we have, and then we have a last question, I think. So when you think about digitalization, transformation. What's the first word which comes up to your mind? And you can enter this and then we get a word cloud. Right, what have we? I think cooperation comes out pretty clear. The future, indispensable, of course. Where would we be without our smartphone? It's only 2008, you have to wonder. Data sharing, progress, an enabler, of course. Vague and complex. Also very interesting, because it is complex rather. If you look at all the federated APIs and things you get, question is how we will implement it all. And a big chance, of course.